No, he hasn't had a good camp.
Yeah,
it does not look good. But in the game,
he did.
In this one, he looked good. He looked confident.
But I'm not sitting here saying it's a different year. It's a different season. Like, I'm not shooting my expectations up for Landon Jackson. And that's just being honest.
Jordan Hancock has had a phenomenal summer.
See, I'm on board with.
Yeah.
Like,
because you see him.
I see it. You see it.
You see it.
You see it.
You see it.
Do you see it?
Do you see it?
I'm looking at it.
Now, from the Connors and Ferris podcast studio, this is the Buffalo Plus podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus podcast. Mike Catalana, Dan Fates. I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We are here in the Connors and Ferris podcast studio. Today, we're going to be breaking down what we saw in Cleveland, the joint practice, as well as the game, our thoughts on Kyle Allen, some of the other standouts from this weekend in Cleveland, as well as, Mike, we have something special coming up.
Yeah, coming up on Wednesday, we will be doing our first live podcast of the year. It is at the Thirsty Turtle in Victor. Many of you joined us there either last year or the year before, because this will be our third appearance there. It's a great spot. We're going to go from 6 to 7, little meet and greet. We'll get a chance to talk to everybody. 7 o'clock, we do the podcast live. If you can't make it to the Turtle, you can watch it on YouTube. It'll be live on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. It'll be a lot of fun. It's brought to you by Bud Light. They've been a big sponsor for us. We're happy to be back with them again. And this is the beginning of what will be another fall into winter tour of Buffalo Plus.
Yeah, the Buffalo Plus tour part 2.
He speaks
He
French.
was truly waiting to say that.
Yes.
I didn't talk at all for the first 90 seconds of this podcast.
We are so proud of you.
That's
but yes, we always have so much fun at the live events. If you can't be there at the Thirsty Turtle, we will have other live shows. But again, we would love to see you.
Yep.
August 26th coming up. Meet and greet from 6 to 7. Podcast from 7 to 8.
This one's in Rochester. We'll have others in Rochester, hoping to also have some as well. I know a lot of people are asking in Buffalo.
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into everything in Cleveland, I think it is important to talk about kind of one of the things that has been all over social media. That is the Ed Oliver situation. Obviously, the Bills releasing a statement on Saturday in support of Ed Oliver, as well as his family, after there was a report that surfaced on social media about his 2-year-old son drowning at their house in Houston back in June. I think this is something that, came out on Friday into Saturday, and then the Bills, Brandon Beane releasing the statement, like I said, supporting Ed Oliver, his family, and honestly mourning the tragic loss of a child. And I think for a lot of people, it's been talked about, but I think we should kind of talk about our perspective as well.
Well, let's start with this. The Bills were aware of this. This happened to Ed in June, and many of us in the media had gotten word that this had happened. It wasn't anything official. It wasn't something the team talked about. And I think in general, the reporters that were aware of what had happened are respecting Ed Oliver, the person. And when if he ever feels confident in talking about that or anything else at the moment, it'll be on his timeline. And I think it was a shame that it got out. Listen, we love to give you information. There are things we can find out going on, good and bad, with the team that we will tell you. I would have felt terrible if it came out. Well, I do feel terrible that it came out like this.
Yep.
Because Ed wasn't ready for it to be out.
Correct.
And I think he deserves the respect as a person and a parent, and just dealing with this at any level. Whether you're a parent or not, you can understand the grief that he's going through. And he's been with the team.
Correct.
He just hasn't talked, and nobody's been bugging him about talking to us about football until he's ready to. So our hearts go out to Ed Oliver in this, and it's a shame that it sort of got leaked out there.
Yeah, it's a shame because not only that, one, it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very obvious. But the way that this news came out to me is upsetting. And I'm not even going to give credit to the person who was putting it out there on social media because he didn't have the decency to respect Ed Oliver's privacy. So I don't feel the decency to give him any credit to breaking this story, like to get some clout and to get some clicks because of social media. To me, that's disgusting behavior. And yeah, guess what? There were, like Mike said, a lot of people on the beat that cover this team, reporters that you probably respect, that we had heard, we had inklings, we had known things, but it wasn't our place. It wasn't a football discussion. This wasn't a criminal discussion. Like this, it wasn't any of that. And it became to us over reporting is human decency.
Yeah.
So that's what really irks me. And to see some of the outpouring of support that obviously Bills Mafia, I know that they're donating to some of Ed's charities, $9.10 for his number. Can't even fathom. Just anybody that has kids. I think this just is so hard to fathom, and to know that Ed's been with the team.
Yeah.
He's been participating. The fact that he is not in Cleveland right now is not because this became public knowledge. It's because he's dealing with an injury is what Joe Brady has said. So respecting time and space, again, there are people that say, why don't you ask these questions? And they'll comment and they'll be on social media. I'm never going to ever ask Ed Oliver anything about this. If Ed wants to speak about it, that is all of the strength that he would have to have. But there is a fine line between being a reporter and being a human being.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I find it, we had heard about it, and it's like, yeah, it's just, I feel like it's such a easy decision to make about, you know what, this is an accident. This is a horrendous accident. That is a tragedy. And I'm not in the business. Like, if you look at my social media, I'm not breaking a ton of stories. And this is not a story that I want to rush to get out there, because I just think this is a human being and a family that's mourning. And that's really incredibly sad to me. And for it to come out in the way that it did. And you're right, because if Ed wasn't around the team because of this, it would be understandable why people would be asking questions.
Yep.
And there would need to be the clarification.
Exactly.
But this is not that.
It's not.
I heard the first time I heard it and heard that it was true. You know, sometimes there's things that are not there. I find myself, I like Ed a lot. We met him the first time before he even got drafted by the Bills. We were in Nashville. I think he's been a great dude. He's been good with us. He's a very good player. He's coming off his injuries. And then knowing that and seeing him on the field sometimes, my heart broke for him. And I do believe being around his teammates, he had to make that decision to do this, had to be tough. So at some point, this news was going to be out.
Yeah.
I just think it should have been on Ed's terms. And especially it's from somebody on the outside. You notice it was nobody within, because Bills people knew, and obviously the team knew.
The team knew, yeah.
Brandon Beane has known this for a long time. He put out the statement today because they were sort of forced to, and I think it's sad.
That's what sucks.
Yeah.
Media side.
Yeah.
Is that the forcing of this not on Ed's terms. So again, thoughts and prayers are with Ed and the Oliver family.
Yeah. No, and this, sometimes I think you can paint stuff with a broad stroke of like, well, what about the Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel thing? And what about the Kyle Shanahan? This is not that.
Nope.
It's not.
No, it's not. That's the best way to put it. It's not. There is no whatabouts for this.
Correct.
This
is not gray area.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We wanted to touch on that because that's been something talked about.
Yep.
And obviously we wanted to kind of give our thoughts.
Yeah.
Moving.
Yep.
Along.
It's tough to transition.
That sucks.
Like if we're just being honestly,
yeah,
having to discuss that very heavy stuff. We also know that you guys, ladies and gentlemen, come here for entertainment and Bills insight,
football.
And we will hope to bring you that as well.
Yes. Now, Ed did not go to Cleveland.
Right.
That was the team saying that was due to an injury. He did not practice on Tuesday as well. We saw him around the team, but Okay. So
Yeah.
he was not in Cleveland. That being said, the Bills were in Cleveland this week. They had a joint practice with the Browns on Thursday, and then that ahead of Saturday's preseason game today. Now, I think let's start with do we want to start with preseason or we just want to start with joint practice?
Well, the preseason game was today. I mean, it all kind of flows together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the joint practice, it's Josh Allen dominating a joint practice. And you won't see that in the preseason. I mean, he looked good in the first game, threw a touchdown pass. But in the joint practice, it's working against the ones. Josh talked about it. It is like, get the ball out, tons of plays. Dalton Kincaid looked good. Like,
yep.
You do want to see that because Cleveland is certainly a very competitive defense,
yeah.
Even though they don't have Myles Garrett anymore. And by all accounts, too, the Bills won those matchups. And that's good to see.
I think, like, somebody asked me, like, why do the Bills like joint practices so much? And I think one of the things is you get the competitive experience of going against a different team and a different look. You have different personnel that you're going against, and that's in itself, after going against the same players, you kind of not to know what to expect, but there's a familiarity there. And then also, it is not a game. Like, so you can pick and choose and kind of figure out, okay, here we want to go live this during this session, but we want to kind of taper it off here. We want to do this. So you can really tailor the experience, but you're still able to get so much out of it. So seeing Josh and the starters being out there and to see the work that they got in, I was like, they got exactly what they wanted out of Cleveland. And it was like, there's no way they're going to play on Saturday.
Yeah. My big takeaway was no wide receivers, no problem. Like Joe Brady was asked, how are you going to handle practices, functioning games? Like, you still have to go through. Khalil Shakir is dealing with an unknown injury. Joe Brady, again, very coy, wasn't trying to be dismissive to the media when being asked about it, but was saying, guys, in 2 weeks, you'll get everything. I will tell you right now. I'm respecting the players. We don't have to say what they're dealing with. Khalil Shakir is dealing with an injury. We don't know what it is. We know that Keon Coleman is in a walking boot. So 2 out of the top 4 Bills wide receivers were not participating in this joint practice. And Joe kind of said he's not worried about Houston yet.
Right.
I thought the yet carried a lot of weight there as to what those injuries could be. He's still trying to focus on what they have to accomplish now. Obviously, it's another opportunity for guys to step up. And I thought the entire tight end room was the one that stepped up. Jackson Hawes may have found some offense.
Yeah.
Which that could be pretty important. We talk about if Dalton Kincaid can become a serviceable blocker and to be able to be out there in more balanced splits between running and passing plays. Well, if you could have Jackson Hawes catch 33 passes this year and a couple touchdowns, that's a bonus because now you're getting more offense out of your blocking specialist. And then to see Dalton Kincaid, been very open. I've been drinking the Kincaid Kool-Aid to see that play.
Kool-Aid.
The Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
It was sitting right there.
Somebody commented on another video about it. Kool-Aid.
I liked to see the fact that it was, Josh Palmer had a touchdown catch. That was nice. I don't necessarily know if I would say the Bills offense dominated because I did see some really good reps out of the Browns defense, which again is very good defense. They're dealing with some injuries in the secondary as well. But I liked seeing Kincaid get down the field. He kind of joked around. He had never been that open before in his life and that he almost dropped it because he was too open. But that he'd worked on some of those go routes with Josh in the summer. Again, I think he's one of the most important pieces for this Bills offense if they want to be more dynamic.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it was nice to see you saw them get the work that they needed. You saw some nice moments. You also saw the Browns, Casey Concepcion,
Denzel Boston.
How about Casey Concepcion talking a little trash?
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
I do love that. I'm not going to lie.
Like, we loved him. He's a Rochester guy.
Yep.
5'5", as he told us at the combine. He's going to be, I think he's going to be really good. They got a receiver room. They don't have quarterbacks, but they got a receiver room. They got some dudes. Boston's a big kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was causing some havoc for Max early on in camp. Early on in the day, Max got the last laugh, breaking up that pass at the end that you probably saw on social media. Good to see that, but man, I've watched a lot of Denzel Boston tape from training camp.
Rome is right behind me.
He's going to hear
He's
you.
hearing this. Rome
There is
Odunze.
legit, like if you look over
Yeah,
Mike's
it's actually
right
in the shot,
shoulder,
just in the
it
shot.
is. Yeah, there's a
It's
tremendous glare on the screen, but there's
yeah.
a framed photo of Rome Odunze from the NFL
Oh, yeah,
Combine.
there he is
Yeah,
up top.
it's-
Yeah.
It should be
just
really
out
a
of that shot.
heart-shaped frame
Yes.
for Dan, but
I just want like a little shelf behind me.
With all of your
Yes.
loves.
your
Yes,
knickknacks.
just a fat head,
Yes.
Just-
and then my fat head.
I love that. All right, let's talk about the game.
Yeah.
today.
Kyle Allen's crushing it. We got to give him his flowers here. He's had a
The way you say that snarky AF,
come on.
though.
He is not. I don't care. I love Steve Tasker. He's my guy. Worked with him before. Steve says he's had a good camp. No, he hasn't had a good camp.
Yeah, that's
It does not look good. But in the game,
He did.
in this one, he looked good. He looked confident. Trent Sherfield, maybe wide receiver 1. What do you think?
Montana and Rice. Like,
Yeah. No, they look good. That was good to see. Threw it down the field, made some throws.
They had, Kyle Allen had some really nice throws.
I'm
he
happy.
had some nice moments, but it was nice to see him look comfortable and confident because so much of camp, it feels like there's been a disconnect there.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
trying to put in perspective, like preseason snaps and reps. Again, none of the Bills starters really played. The Browns also, like, they said they got enough work in that they wanted out of the joint practice. So the starters,
They don't have a lot of starters.
they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Shador was actually
Some
better.
moments. He's
Yeah.
got
There
some
were like
moments.
tens of people in the stands and they were all booing Watson.
I'd play Shador Sanders and just get the other one. I mean,
Yeah.
at this
Yeah.
point, really, you're going to go back. But no, like that, you're right. They
So trying to put into context,
Yeah.
like some of the reps that you're seeing in this preseason game to go like this or that with passing plays and concepts. And all I took away was Kyle Allen made some NFL caliber throws in a preseason game. Like that
Yeah.
was that throw that he had, the dime that he dropped into Sherfield. I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't think he had that in his bag. I
Yeah.
did not think that he had a preseason day. I just want to make sure it's have a day, but it's have a preseason day, Kyle Allen.
and on that play, Tylan Grable whiffed on a block,
Mm.
but the ball came out fast.
Yep.
Like that easily could have been a slight hesitation from Kyle Allen, and he's getting sacked on that play. He got it away, pretty good coverage,
Yeah.
and he dropped it in the bucket. So that was good to see. And Alec Anderson starting again. So in terms of, I guess the finalized starters didn't play, but
Correct.
Alec Anderson got out
Yep.
there, and then Corbett came in the
Yep.
second series, so they mixed them up a little bit. But that was my take from the out. Ray Davis got the carries early, got a touchdown.
Nice. Yeah,
Hey, he's making a real play to be the punt returner too.
I
Mhm.
agree.
So
Hardman had some drops, which was tough because I think if they want him to be a primary punt returner, he's got to make some impact. And he's not going to be a run block. He's not going to be the Gabe Davis that they've had where it's like they can at least have him, Mac Hollins, be that big body to
I
help
miss
run
Matt
block.
Collins so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. I had a couple other takeaways. I really liked, again, trying to look at it both macro and micro, like understanding like it's not full scheme and all of that, but Kenai Walker, not afraid to get his nose dirty and make a couple of really nice tackles. And IGB had a really nice tackle in space. Why the running back bounced outside? It's IGB on an island against a bigger running back and was able to bring the guy down. Quarterbacks hate tackling. They hate it. That's why they're corners. But to show that you can do it takes some plays out of the offense's playbook. I remember talking to Rasul Douglas because he had made like 3 tackles on opening drives of games.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to him going, man, you stopped an end around against Miami. He's all alone, makes the tackle against A-Chan. I was like, do you pride yourself on making those tackles? And he goes, I hate tackling. I don't want to tackle. He goes, but the defensive coordinators know that if you make one of those tackles, they'll stop running the ball to the outside. And so to see Kenai and to see IGB make those plays was like, all right, they can do it. I'm not saying they want to. I'm not saying they love it. But to be able to get your nose dirty and get the guy to the ground, that was a big, arrow up in my book. Nothing about scheme, nothing about who they were bringing down, who they were bringing down to the ground, but they were able to do it.
Yeah, it's about individual effort, I feel like, in preseason games. Like,
Yeah.
what guys look good, what guys look the part. And you're right. Like, the tackling, I totally, I wouldn't be like, love tackling, but to be able to show that you can do a play like that, if you're on the other side of the ball, you're like, okay, well, they were able to stop that.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that makes sense.
I think we've been unfair, though. We didn't mention, I said about the backup quarterback, Shane Buechele, Jamori Macklin, touchdown, 71 yards. Now,
Yes.
it's a little out.
Correct.
Macklin took it the distance.
Yep.
Good to see for Macklin making a play. Shane Buechele is, has his moments, and he's been good in the preseason before.
Agreed.
I think the way it's going to play out is he would probably get released and brought back on the practice squad. That's just a guess based on what they need to do to manipulate the roster when that time comes. But it's good, it's good to see him making some plays. He ran one in. I mean,
Yep.
he scored 31 points. So,
Yeah.
they had to get some
Practice
offense.
squad star
Yeah.
and friend of Josh Allen,
Shane
which gets you
Buechele.
Yes.
gets you jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It keeps you employed in the NFL.
Love that.
Yeah.
Tyler Bass, I think it's important to note, made all his kicks,
52-yarder.
including a 52-yarder. I know that's been a point of conversation. We've talked about it on this channel, and Michael is raising his hand. What's up?
Still nervous about him.
Yeah, no, that's so fair. I agree. I'm not like, wow, he's absolved from all my fear, but I do think it's important to note because context matters, and I will say that all the time. But he made all his kicks on Saturday, and he did what was asked of him. So
Yeah.
there is that. It's totally understandable to still have some fears, though.
I want one of those guys that can just, I guess maybe with this Bills offense and the way Josh Allen, you're not going to be trying as many like super long field goals unless it's at the end of a quarter and a half. But he's one of those guys that can, 68 yards and boom the ball.
Realistically, I think especially for Bills fans, like your confidence has been shaken because shooketh because Bass did not play last year and did not have a great 2024. And so you're like, where is he at?
Yeah.
And we've seen throughout the preseason him have some nice moments
Mhm.
and then also has missed some kicks. So it's understandable.
He misses them like I miss my drives. It's a slice to the right. It goes to the right. And you can play it as a fade. If it's a slight little move and you hit a golf ball, you say, that's my fade.
Yes.
So when he knocks it in, he fades it in. But when it goes right to the goalpost, that's
very
a slice.
fair. Yeah.
That's a slice.
That is
Or like
very
when I
fair.
hit the tree on the right side of the fairway, I'm like, it was going to come back. That tree was there. Like that was smoked,
Damn
Dan.
trees.
Yeah.
Put them in the way.
A couple other points I had. I know it was the backups on the defensive line. Shedeur Sanders had all day. I mean, on the touchdown pass, it was comical how much time he had. Yes, Landon Jackson did have a tackle for a
Nice
loss.
TFL.
which
got
was
away.
You
Right?
say Landon Jackson, yeah.
was a nice play. TJ Parker had moments in this game where he flashed. He was offsides on one, had a hit on a quarterback hit. I liked seeing those little moments. I would like to see, knowing you're going up against the backups. Like I joked around saying, like, is this the Browns starting offensive line? Because they just seem to be dominating the line of scrimmage. But TJ Parker had some moments. And I will say, I've got real concerns about DeWayne Carter.
Oh, yeah. I think the Bills do.
Yeah.
They bring in Greg Gaines off the street. I know that Fedarian Mathis has the suspension, whether they want to say that's it. Joe Brady said this was an indictment on DeWayne Carter. I just haven't seen anything. I just really haven't seen anything this training camp. And he's playing into the second half of the second preseason game. It's one of those follow what they do, not what they say. They can say all of the compliments, like Jim Leonard loves to, this guy's doing great and all of that. But you're bringing in guys for the defensive line because you're obviously not thrilled with your depth and production of what you're getting. And DeWayne Carter, to me, is right now a guy firmly on the bubble to try and stay on this team.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're really looking for something there. I think they feel good about 2/3 of the starting D line.
Yeah.
And, Landon Jackson's getting opportunities. It's nice to see him flash in some of these moments, but you're talking about playing real snaps against number ones.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much confidence they have there. So Gaines got a lot of experience in the league.
Yep.
It's been more on the inside, but I think
Sure.
he can play there. But I think this is going to be where there's some hard decisions to make
Yeah.
with all of the changes. I don't know what to make of TJ Sanders on the D line. I don't yet.
Where do you like assess some of these guys?
And that's it. And I see some of our colleagues say this guy's having a great summer, this guy's making this plays. And maybe if you're focusing on a certain player during reps, but like we've been at every practice.
Yeah.
And I've never walked away going, man, DeWayne Carter really took that practice over. Even TJ Sanders, like there have been some times where at least, and I think that I'm not saying that Landon Jackson has had a great summer. I think some people want to say that. I'm not in that camp, but he does, because he bulked up, gives you more versatility that he can play inside, which is where he got the tackle for the loss today.
Right.
And also kick out. DeWayne Carter's not kicking out. And Greg Gaines is kind of the interior. So I don't really know where DeWayne Carter fits.
Yeah.
And I don't see him as a practice squad candidate. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just tough because I feel like there's some going into this summer, it was like people wanted to know about DeWayne Carter. They wanted to know about Landon Jackson. They wanted to know about TJ Sanders. And I do believe out of that group, I feel confident that Landon Jackson has had the most moments. But that being said, I agree with you that I thought he looked better than he did last year. And I thought he had some nice flashes. Again, the tackle for loss today. But I'm not sitting here saying it's a different year. It's a different season. I'm not shooting my expectations up for Landon Jackson. And that's just being honest. I don't want to say I feel bad for saying that because that's not the case, but I just see some stuff online and I'm like, are we watching the same things?
It's not like Deion Walker. You watched Deion Walker last year and that dude
1,000%.
flashed, and it wasn't like all pro level, but you saw some ability and you talked to his teammates. Now you see him this year, his first game, he's throwing people out of the way.
You saw him manhandle and out physical and out athletic. And I haven't seen that.
Yeah, you made a point. You just said people wanted to know, what about Sanders? What about Carter? What about Landon Jackson? That's what Brandon Beam wants to know. That's what Joe Brady wants to know. And certainly what Jim Leonard wanted to know all spring and summer. What do we have in these guys? What can they do for us? And this is where it's great to flash and make a play at any time you're on the field with NFL players. It's backups against Cleveland, whatever. But now, once we get 3 weeks from now, it's the Texans, it's the Chargers, it's the Patriots, it's everybody in a line. And you're playing against their number ones. That's the way it works. So they need help in that spot. And I don't know if they have it.
That's where it's I want to see Mike Dana, who has played 40 games in the NFL, had 2 sacks in the first preseason game in the fourth quarter. It's the guy that he's going up against isn't going to be on an NFL roster in 2 weeks. So I want to see that from TJ Sanders. I want to see that from DeWayne Carter. Impact a game against backups. And I just haven't seen that. So that's where I kind of get a little bit
that. This is how I feel. Shocking. 2 things can be true at the same time. Landon Jackson has had a way better camp than he had last year. He seems more comfortable in his body.
Yep.
He seems more confident out on the field. And also, I am still curious how he will stack up when
the weight class goes up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you're in, then this is not about flashing, showing some ability,
correct,
being encouraged. This is, dude, we need somebody to go in there and make a play.
Yep.
Well, we need somebody to go in. You're going to play in a regular, and we can talk rotations all we want in the NFL. Every team rotates on the D line. You got to be able to there's got to be a skill set for you when you're out there on the field.
Nobody talks about Houston's defensive line's depth.
Yeah.
They just go get them.
I don't know who their backups are because I know who their stars are. So, and again,
their backup is Jadeveon Clowney. Yeah.
So and again, Mike, to your point, in the preseason, they're getting 20, 30 snaps. DeWayne Carter may get 10 in the regular season game against really good Pro Bowl, all pro players.
When you're playing on the defensive line, you're playing against their number one offensive line. Those guys don't come out of the game.
Yeah.
That's not the way it works in the NFL.
And 2 other notes that I had. Jordan Hancock has had a phenomenal summer.
See, I'm on board with.
Yeah.
Like
because you see him.
I see it. You see it.
You see it.
You see it.
You see it.
Do you see it?
Do you see it?
I'm looking at it. No, I just.
There's the open. He again had an interception in the joint practice. They've moved him to safety now as they've kind of transitioned because he looked so much more comfortable at nickel, being D. Alford's backup early on in training camp, especially in Rochester. And Jim Leonhard wanted to put more on his plate and have him be a safety. He was a guy. Here's a guy. I don't think we knew or understood, unless you talked to him, how injured he was last year. And it was out of necessity of like, we need you to play through this. And it wasn't pretty. And where we're just saying, what does TJ Sanders have? What do these guys have that kind of had lost years last year? We're seeing that with Jordan Hancock. His versatility, making plays, had a pass breakup from the safety position, good read, good anticipation. He looks healthy, free, and is flying around making plays. And the realistic expectation, at least for me, is that Saran Neal type of can play all over in case of emergency.
Maybe a more Cam Lewis.
That's probably better. Yep.
Only because
I
think he's going to play. I think he's going to play slot. He's going to play safety.
Yep.
I have no idea if they feel like he can kick outside at some point. Cam Lewis did a lot of those things and played special teams. And think about that should also tell you how banged up they were. When they were asking a rookie, a lower draft pick, what was he, fifth round
out of Ohio State,
to you got to be on the field because they're looking around going, ain't nobody else out here. By the way, I got to also mention Buffalo Joe. Joe Andreessen made some plays today, had a deflection on the interception of DeMar Hamlin. I don't know where his roster spot stands. They brought in a lot of linebackers. Yeah. And there's different players out there to see what they think. We know he's been a special teams guy, but made a few plays today. He's been good. Last year, he was good in the preseason. Is what got him a roster spot.
Yeah. I thought I would notice Caleb Elarms or more in these first two preseason games and haven't. Hand up. I'm not going to try and pretend like I can dissect everything about what the linebackers are doing and if they're in the right position. Just hasn't. He's flashed in practice. I just haven't seen it in the game.
On the Browns touchdown, you mentioned they had plenty of time. Me not being a defensive coordinator, I've applied for jobs. They haven't given them to me yet. It looked to me like maybe he was the guy who was supposed to drop a little deeper in coverage. They threw the touchdown. Jim Leonhard will work that out. But I think that's what we're going to find. And Jenny, you said maybe he's at the moment more of what Dorian Williams has been, where you're talking about a guy with great physical ability and maybe the instincts aren't 100% there yet.
Yeah.
He's got the physical ability to make up for a lot of that. I kind of like what Max said when we were talking to him the other day about, I need to be patient. I got to do this. And I'm happy I have the speed when I need it.
Yeah.
But sometimes in those spots, it's so quick that I think maybe making some errors now,
that's what Mike keeps saying.
Yeah. You make those mistakes.
Can't make the same mistake twice.
That's
but also to try things and make the mistake once.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Micah Hyde.
I do think like
friend of the pod. Check out all the Micah Hyde podcast.
Caleb Alarms or he did flash at Fisher where you're like, wow, you noticed him on the field and honestly the violence that he
started
kind of
a fight.
He kind of brought. But that being said, I was like, I can't wait to see him in these preseason games. Now, does that mean that he's not a good player and he can never become a good player? No. I think for him, probably now that he's going up against, full speed, they're in preseason games, he's still a rookie. And they talk so much about being a rookie. It's like trying to drink water from a fire hose. So maybe his head is still spinning, but you saw those moments at camp at Fisher. You would like to have seen them on the field in preseason, but that doesn't mean that he's not capable of learning and growing. But you're right. It does seem like his skill set is that more, like I talked about, the Dorian Williams, like having that physicality and maybe, but he's still a young player.
Yeah. So. Jim Leonhard basically said Terrell Bernard's a starter and the other guys will have big roles.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think we're going to see a lot of both he and Dorian Williams, maybe back and forth, splitting some reps. We'll see how that plays out. That's what it looks like to start the year.
Last note from me, and what else you guys had? Ian Wheeler's just fun. Ian Wheeler is just fun. He is the Christian Wade of exciting preseason guys that can play. And again, there are some people that say, do I say that a lot? And again?
Yeah.
Is that
You
one
say
of
all those things too.
Yeah.
But
It's on your
and
greatest,
again,
it's
yeah.
your greatest hits.
my greatest hits?
That's funny.
We got to do something on that.
I'm gonna say the shirt, Dan's greatest hits, all those things, and again, there's
There'll be fans out there that'll make
I would
Mike's
say
right. No?
No,
That's
never
not
that.
It is funny how many times people say Dan is wrong or Dan is right out in public.
Yeah, I've heard a lot
People
of the
say Dan
wrongs.
is right. Sorry, you really walked into that one. You walked into it.
Oh, he's hurt again. Oh, no. He's hurt
Uh-oh.
again.
A lot of gray.
Also, it's so funny because people are
Wait,
like,
stop.
People-
Stop with the gray. Stop
Yeah,
with him
first
saying
of
a lot
all-
of gray.
that is so
Jenna,
mean.
do you have any gray?
Hell yeah, I have gray. Not as much as you.
Look at that.
Same hair for 30 years.
Yeah, I gotta commend you on that.
Yeah.
Like,
When we
Yeah.
look back and see 30-year-old Catalana, it's the same hair.
it's the same hair.
There was a clip of me on social media, Tasker
Yes.
tossing down to me on the field, him and Marv
Yeah.
throwing it down to me on the field. I would have done the stand up exactly the same now. Exactly. Because I know the way my mind works.
I don't know if we've told this story on here yet. I think we have. The Marv Levy story the wisdom that he imparted on you during a
Yeah.
training camp all
Listen,
time.
Well, listen, it's Marv Levy, 101 years old, legend. Covered him when he was coaching and then got to know him even differently when he worked the Bills games. And I was doing the sidelines during the preseason. And we were sitting having dinner before one of the games, media area. And Marv says, Michael, I want to tell you something. He called me Michael, by the way. I want to tell you something. And I was like, okay.
You're about to get wisdom.
Shakespeare, Patton,
Churchill.
all these people. And he goes, when you're working one of these games and you're doing TV, you should always carry one of those shout wipes with you. And I remember going like, I was waiting for this. I was a little disappointed. And then I was like, that's a good idea. Go in my bag right now. Shout
There's a
wipes.
shout
You know
wipe.
what? Marv told me.
That's it.
Marv told me to do it. So
I love
Smart
that
man.
story.
he was.
It's just like waiting at the edge of your seat. Like, what wisdom is he going to impart?
Shout wipes.
Hey, shout white.
Because you could make a mess.
Yeah.
You never know. I had a little thing on my shirt.
Yeah.
Jenna was like,
Earlier.
I should have gone and got the shout wipe.
That's
Take care of
true.
it.
All right. You have anything else?
No, that was it. I just come chock full of content.
Okay.
Thirsty Turtle.
Thirsty
Yes.
Turtle
Check out
Wednesday.
August
see us.
26th, 6 to 7, meet and greet, 7 to 8, live podcast.
Live podcast. And you can watch it on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.
Yes.
And then we'll be getting the word out about all of our appearances too
Yeah.
when they tell us.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of when they tell us, the Bills will be back in Orchard Park with practices.
Yeah. By the way,
At-
it's kind of wild. Like we hear about it like the night before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's at 8. Oh no, I mean 11. But
Yeah.
whatever. We'll
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll get
So
there.
we'll
and then they
figure
have the
it out.
last preseason game on Thursday.
Thursday night, too.
Mm.
Did
Yeah.
you know it was night game?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's almost all the midweek games are night games. I guess they could do it Thursday
Yeah, I guess.
in the
Yeah, that would be
afternoon.
weird to have a. I mean, they've had practices at 8 a.m. They could have
Yeah.
a game at 10 a.m., I guess. But
Then it'd be in London.
And we'll also see how the field looks.
That is something.
there are a lot of. I don't know what the word is.
Mm.
Grassologists.
Horticulturists?
Horticulturists.
Is that? Yeah, I guess that's.
I don't know.
H.
Ar-
Aren't you a? Wait a minute. Aren't you a grassologist?
Different kind. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Just kidding.
kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arborist? No, that's trees.
that's trees.
horticulturist.
Uh,
What are you looking up? Greenskeeper? Groundskeeper?
groundskeeper? But I think maybe they got a better title for him. You know what I mean? Like they give
Yeah.
him like a
What are we? What's our cool title?
podcasteers. I don't know.
Are agronomists.
Oh yeah, agronomist.
Can I see it?
An expert in the science of soil management.
I think
That's
that would
cool.
work. Bring them in.
Agronomist.
Agronomists.
Yeah, I think you're right on how to say that.
Agronomist.
Agronomist.
It's agronomist.
Agronomist.
By the way, I'm going to take credit for it, but I was a little slow on the uptick here
Yeah.
because you said it, and I was like, it doesn't sound
Okay.
right.
Agronomist.
Agronomist.
Turf grass manager.
The sod father.
The
That's
sod
it.
father's way cooler.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We've
All right.
Enough
We
of a
got off on
tangent. All right.
Comment in your takeaways from the few days in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. That'll do it for us. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Closing on 50.
And
Are we
Micah
really
again
already?
next week. We'll have Micah again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So comments to questions for Micah.
Yep.
Yes. All right. We appreciate it.
Where are we at?
Hold. Bad podcast.
Bad
Hold
podcasting.
on. 45-30.
45-30?
Sorry. 40.
It's oh my,
45,300.
I think it's higher than that, but that's
45,336.
See, it was higher.
Tell your friends.
Yes.
All right.
All your friends. All right. Mike, Dan, I'm Jenna. Bye.
From the Connors and Ferris
First
podcast
podcast
studio.
studio.
Yes. The Connors and Ferris podcast studio.
Buffalo Plus.